Hi friend, it is Pat Sloan on August 6th. I almost forgot what month it was. I had to think. August. So today on our calendar, our topic is to reach out. And reach out, I would like you to say hello to a friend. A quilt friend first, maybe. Let's go for our quilt friends. Do you have somebody on Facebook who's always leaving you nice comments? Go leave a comment on their post. Just go check them out. Check on them, see how they're doing. Say hello to them. If you belong to a guild and you haven't sort of written to your guild members lately, if you have a guild Facebook group or maybe on the guild blog, you can go leave a comment. Reach out to anybody in your quilt environment that you haven't talked to yet. How about your favorite shop owner? If you haven't said hello to them, send them a nice little note on their Instagram or Facebook account. To call them up, to say hi. I miss you. That's if you don't have anybody in that realm of your world, then contact somebody else in your life that you haven't touched base with recently and say hello. That's today. Today is Reach Out Day on Thursday. Okay, yesterday we talked about pattern storage, and I did go and work on, can you see it here? So I did work some on my one container last night. I did not get rid of as much as I had hoped to get rid of. I thought I was going to get rid of a lot more, and I didn't. So there you go. I need to get the other containers out. I think I have 2 more of these magazine ones, and I have a blue box, so I need to get all those out. Now, let's see, what else? There. I lost my train of thought. Okay, it's back now. Digital patterns. People have asked about digital patterns. Yesterday I just talked about print patterns. So digital patterns, the idea is that you don't need to print them off and keep them. But I know a lot of you are doing that. So here's some schools of thought, and you can look at what you're doing and how you're doing it. Personally, this is how I deal with digital patterns. I have folders on my computer, and I put them in the digital pattern folder, and then I might have subcategories. Maybe it's, if I were sewing along with me, it'd be like Pat Sloan sew-alongs. Maybe you have one that are all bed-size quilts, or one that are applique quilts, so that you could find them again. Some people will save to the cloud, to like a Google Docs or some other service that they own. If you are saving them to your computer, you do want to back them up in some way, because if you have a hard drive crash and it can't be recovered, then everything is gone that you saved. So be sure that you are saving things on a regular basis for your digital. Now, if you are a person printing them, and so I have a couple suggestions there, because like I showed you yesterday, the binder, you could put the prints in there. They don't need to go in sleeves. You could do, sleeves take up space and they cost money. If you've printed this stuff, just print them and then maybe put some, like the dividers, like with a little tab on the side that says, Pat's patterns, applique patterns, bed quilts. So you can, flip to like a section. So you kind of have sectioned in there. But if you've been printing these for a while, do you really need that many? Some of our friends in the Facebook group, along with Pat Sloan, said that they have quite a few binders now. Do you really need that many if you still have the digital? And if you haven't gone through those binders in a long time, and are you still using all of them? Have you actually made the quilt, and do you think you're ever going to make the quilt again? If you're never going to make the quilt again, you don't need the printed taking up space, because it takes up a lot of space to keep all of this. You might also be just sort of saving them blindly, like you just save them and print them, and then, maybe you never have gone back to look at what you did. So if digital is your primary place to put single patterns, then today or this week, use it as a whole week, See, you don't have to do it just in a day. To go through them and just find out what the heck is going on, what could you possibly get rid of, and if it's just, you have the digital, do you really need the print? So that will save you space, because then you could put other more important things, because a lot of us do not have unlimited storage. Our storage is limited, so use it wisely. So that's my take on digital. I only print basically if I need to print to make it, because I have my computer, which is you can see over there, which is right by my cutting table, which is right here. So I could just call things up on the computer and look at it. I could do that, you know, and not have to print anything. So, but I do sometimes print because sometimes it's just easier to read through things, especially if there's a little more detail. But then I don't keep it. I don't keep the prints at all. I keep everything digital. So only print it to use it, then I recycle the paper. Alrighty. So while I have you thinking about projects we're working on, the stars behind me, guess what I found? I was over in an area where I have some bolts, and I had wrapped these big dots. Yes, look at them. I wrapped them on one of these bolts, so I have enough. And now I'm thinking, should I put this on the border? Should I do it for the horizontal and the vertical? I have enough now to do everything with these red dots. So that is fabulous news for me. Can I make the squares? Okay, so see on the bottom, let me see there. Okay, see down here, there's 4 9 patches. Yes, I'm the 9 patch queen now. So I did those 4 9 patches the other day, and I made a attempt. I tried out some tools, tried out working with some things, and basically I've come to the conclusion that I cannot use the rotary cutter yet at all in any way. So if I want to do the points, I will use my Gemini die cut, the die cut machine. But even the die cut machine I have to try out, because I have to put layers of, you know, the acrylics, and then that all has to be picked up and run through. The dies themselves are very, very light. They're gorgeous dies, but I still have to layer 2 plexiglass and put the fabric and everything else. I am only allowed to lift 1 pound right now, which is not very much. It's not very much weight. So I'm thinking I might need to, my star points, I might have a friend make them for me just so that I can get them done, because I actually can probably do the points like 2 square triangles at a time, and then they could cut them and trim them for me. So I'm thinking about that as an option. Otherwise, I do have, see, like for the 9 patches, and move my chair, I do have bins of 2.5 inch squares. I have like 4 shoebox bins of 2.5 inch squares. So I could make tons of 9 patches just so I could get my sewing on. You know, that would be really fabulous. That would be so nice. The other thing I have that I could try are these smaller, you know, foundation patterns. So this is the economy block. I mentioned this the other day when I was showing these, and I didn't have them in yet. So this is the newest one, but there's also the pineapple, which I think is super cute. The thing is, when you do these, let me just open this up and show you. So if I am working on these, pull in here. So I would be putting a piece of fabric, and then, you know, right sides together, and then I would be sewing on the line. So it's all very doable, because the one piece of fabric, you know, I can, as long as I have scraps that are, you know, big enough, then I can cut with scissors. So I can cut with scissors, but it's very time consuming. You know, it's not going to be quick at all to do that kind of a thing. But it is an option if I get bored with 9 patches, because honestly, I might. I don't know how many 9 patches you can do before your brain just goes, give me something else. But I am probably going to avoid, or probably going to stay away from anything that needs cut and trimmed for a little bit still. So maybe a couple weeks before I might even be allowed to try that. So that is that. I want to show you one thing more before I go back to that. Yeah, jumping around today. It's National Cross Stitch Day, or International Cross Stitch Day, or here we go. Let's get this right. World Cross Stitch Day is, I believe it's the 14th. And the Fat Quarter Shop has this super cute little pattern. You can go and purchase, and I think it's darling. Happiness is homemade. Now I don't know if I can stitch this or not, but I may get the stuff out and see, because stitching is just, you know, like, it doesn't weigh a pound, the cloth, and I can go up and I can go down and it moves my fingers. So I may have to have Greg put the cloth in the frame, because I don't normally like to do this in a frame, but I think I might have to, because I have very little strength on this left hand. Even though the fingers move, they don't move much, and there's very little strength. So I'm going to talk about this right before we sign off. So you can go download this, and you can watch my torturous progress. I don't know, folks. I don't know. I am a mess. It's like my wrists are a mess. So this is a compression glove. And some of you will recognize it, some of you will wear it, but I thought I would just, for those of you who are interested in the process behind breaking bones and then healing them. I have not had broken bones since I broke my little toe as a kid, which was a whole different thing than breaking wrists. And I don't have any family members that have done this. I don't have any close friends that have done this. And if I had coworkers, they weren't people that I really worked with close enough, so I understood the whole process. Because this part is just part one. This is part two. I'll do two. This will take as long, and most likely longer, to heal and get better than just setting the bone. Setting the bone is part one. After that, I haven't moved things. This particular hand had a tremendous amount of swelling. It still has a lot of swelling, and so I have to really work everything. I can't move. I can do a little bit, but these fingers don't move. You know, there you can see there's like a huge difference. These should be able to pull down into a fist. They can only do that. I can't, because I also had carpal tunnel. I can't lift things. So there is a whole bunch of weeks now ahead of me to just get them working, and it's my job to get them working. Even though I can go to occupational therapy and they show me what has to be done, I'm the one who has to do it. And it all relies on the person, the injured person, to get everything working healthy. So basically I have a second job now. My full-time job, my main job, let's put it this way, my main job right now is to get my wrists working, which means I have to be exercising them, moving them, pressing them, working on the scar tissue to break that up, doing all of this stuff all day long. So it's tiring and mentally exhausting, but it is something that I have to do. I don't have a choice, because I need to work my wrists. So when you see me without casts, don't assume I'm done or better or finished or well, because I won't be. I have many weeks, like maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, who knows, until I'm fully recovered. But even to get it back to some sort of normal working status, I can't type. I can't type on the keyboard. That pressure is just too much pressure right now. So there you go. I just wanted to give you an update, because I think people who have not, I mean, I know I didn't, I thought when the cast came on, maybe you did a few little exercises and you were good to go. Maybe you are if you're 15 years old. But if you're a lot older than that, that's not what's happening. So I will be wearing the compression glove quite a bit, and then taking that off often and doing exercises. So thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to the end. If you are interested in hearing that part about how this works, I appreciate all your support and all your love and all your comments. They mean so much to me. So I will see you online, folks. Remember to reach out and say hello to somebody today. I love you. Mwah. See you later.